Hello beautiful, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So today's video is probably the only haul you are ever going to see on my channel. I make predominantly minimalist, lifestyle, and self-exploration content if you're new here, but I did recently get married and we did have a registry that was more than just cash. A lot of people said, oh, you're a minimalist, are you just going to ask for cash? And the reason that I didn't is because some of my family and friends hold sentiment in gift giving, and they feel that cash is impersonal. So I did want to have sort of a small list of things that we wanted to upgrade around the house available in case they did want to do gift giving. That way they weren't just blindly shopping through the store. So this isn't everything, this is just some stuff. And hopefully next week there's going to be a massive house declutter that I'll be doing on this channel that you'll get to watch too, which will include likely some of the things that are being upgraded here today. Don't mind the background, it is a work in progress, and let's go ahead and get into it. So if you don't live in the United States, you may or may not know what a wedding registry is. I know a lot of my Russian side of the family that I married into had no idea what it was, because for them cash is sort of the common gift for bride and groom, but a wedding registry is basically a collection of items that the bride and groom have selected as gifts they would like to receive in the event that you want to give the bride and groom a gift, but you don't want to give them cash just straight up. It's just a collection of gifts, so you're not blindly shopping through the store buying things that they maybe already have or don't want, whatever. So that's what a wedding registry is. So the first thing here are some new utensils. I got a full set so they all match, and they are silicone and stainless steel. And the reason that I got these is because when I originally moved out of my parents' house, my mom had a surplus of kitchen stuff because she used to sell Tupperware door to door. And she kindly donated a bunch of pots and pans and glasses and Tupperware and like random odds and ends that she had to my fiance, or actually he wasn't even my fiance when we moved out, to my boyfriend and I, so that we had stuff and we didn't have to spend a lot of money right from the jump of moving out. However, it was very, very old Tupperware stuff, which means it like 100% had BPA in it. So I did not donate those items. I threw them out just because I don't feel good about donating something toxic to a thrift store. And these were the replacement to those. So I'm really happy about these, and they've been working out great so far. So next on the list, and you're gonna see a theme because most of the upgrades I made was because the predecessor was toxic in some way or another, but the very next upgrade, this is a small one, but is a glass measuring cup. We had, again, from Tupperware, maybe Pampered Chef, I'm not sure. It was an older, kind of warped measuring cup that was plastic, and I don't feel good about having things that I know have BPA in them in my kitchen. It's just kind of unnecessary, especially when glass is such a better alternative. So this is an upgrade that we got. So next on the list is my husband and I have 3 pans in total. One of them is cast iron and 2 of them were Teflon. And if you know anything about Teflon, you know it's toxic. However, we do like to cook with non-stick pans some of the time. So we registered for 2 ceramic pans instead. This is just one of them. I have another one downstairs. And I will be decluttering my Teflon pans because these are not only way better at non-stick, but they are way better at not creating poisonous situations in my food. So that was a really good replacement. This was one of the most important upgrades that I think we made, and I'm really grateful to the giver of all of these gifts. Speaking of Teflon, I had Teflon cookie sheets, which is so strange because I feel like I always put either a silicone baking mat or parchment paper down on a cookie sheet no matter what. So the fact that it was Teflon was kind of pointless. And not to mention, it was really cheap. It was like from Ross or something. So every time I would clean it, here, I'll show you on this one, where it curves over, rust would get inside there because it wasn't finished in that area. So every time I washed it, we would have like liquid. It was a whole situation. They totally suck. So we upgraded to these stainless steel cooking sheets. I have 2 cookie sheets. Well, actually right now I have more, but I will be doing a declutter. I intend to have 2 cookie sheets. This came in a pack of 2 along with a silicone baking mat. And so far I've been using them and they've been great. Hello. Can you guys see yourself? Great and reflective. On that same vein of switching from non-stick to stainless steel, I got a muffin tin. This is the only This is the only muffin tin I have. I don't make muffins too often. Sometimes I'll make protein muffins or like little banana bread muffins. So I didn't feel a need to have more than one of these. So this is the one I have. Okay, so that is it for the upgrades that I wanted to show you guys. Now I want to move into some stuff that I got just because. And again, this isn't a totally encompassing list. This is just some stuff. But I think these things will be interesting. That's why I'm bringing them up. So I got a Gravity System water bottle, and this serves two purposes. A, it's good for camping, and B, it's good in like an emergency situation. I am a minimalist, but I am not a minimalist in regards to like my emergency supplies. I have a bug out bag, I have weaponry, I have canned food, I have water. A lot of people think it's crazy, like I'm a crazy prepper and I'm prepping for like doomsday or the end of the world. The main reason is in the last year, there has been a lot that has happened that has proven to me that when shit hits the fan, you really need to be able to care for yourself for at least a couple days. The perfect example is when Texas totally froze over. For days, and for some people, weeks. FEMA and like emergency services were not able to get to these people. So if they didn't have any food or water or heat or whatever, they were totally screwed. So I have a very vast emergency supply collection, if you will, and this will be added to it. And then when I go camping, we'll obviously use it for camping for filtration of water, and then it'll go and live with the emergency stuff. That was kind of a long explanation, but the reason I made it is because that explanation applies to almost anything that I have that's coming up here. Anything that I have that's camping related is kind of dual purpose in that sense. So, number one. Number two, like I said, on that same sort of vein are these camping lanterns. They're battery powered and then you just pull them up and they have pretty good light. The last few times I've gone camping, we have not had adequate light. And we're on the river all day and then we come back and it's time to cook dinner and it's dark and it's kind of inconvenient. So these are for camping, but also in case the power goes out, you want to have a flashlight, emergency situation, yada yada. So this I actually didn't register for, and normally when people send gifts that I don't want, it doesn't work out very well, but this is a good one. My best friend sent this to me, so I think she knows me well enough to know kind of what I need. But this is a camping set of cutlery. We used to camp with them and or bum their camping set of cutlery when we weren't camping with them, but then I moved, so I needed my own. So she sent me this, which is awesome. Okay, now this one, this is for camping and also emergency. But the main reason I really wanted this was because at the time we lived in California and we had an electric stove. And in California, if you live there, you know that PG&E, which is the gas and electric company, is garbage. And their solution to the constant fires in California was to kill the power in districts for sometimes weeks at a time. There was a year where we had our power out for like 5 days. I couldn't cook, I had no refrigeration, it was completely barbaric, and yet I was still somehow paying PG&E for them to shut my lights off. Anyway, I don't live there anymore, but you can tell that I'm still annoyed by that being their solution to the fires they keep causing. But, rambling aside, if you're still here, thank you. I wanted a camping stove, and this was not only for camping, because obviously with camping you can't always rely on your fire to support all of the food that you want to eat. This was also, I had in the back of my mind that when PG&E cuts the electricity and I can't cook on my electric stove, I would have this. Now I have a gas stove, which I love. Gas stoves are so much better, you guys. So this is less of a need for like an emergency situation and more now just for camping. But at the time, it was gonna be dual purpose. Okay, so I feel like I rambled for a very long time. So if you're still watching this video, that must mean that you like either my voice or what I'm talking about or my personality, so you should consider subscribing if you're not already. And that is actually it for today. So this was, like I said, a precursor to next week's video, which is going to be a massive house declutter. So if you are at all interested in that, please subscribe, hit the bell, like, whatever you want to do, all the good things, help the algorithm, let YouTube know that my videos don't suck. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.